Hi, it's Ty here for TK24 Sports, and on today's Arsenal edition, we're looking at the dynamics of Arsenal Football Club, what's going wrong, why it's going wrong, and stop blaming Mikel Arteta for this mess. Okay, now before you potentially want to try and switch off, this is not a clickbait video, this is a very serious video. This is a very serious show and a very serious, I guess, episode 1 of 5 that we have to get into. Now the reason I'm saying don't get onto Mikel Arteta for the problems at Arsenal, there is deeper issues at the club. And the Arsenal fans and, some journalists are thinking, oh my God, this guy is messing up. Yes, he is messing up in a big way. But some of this is not all his fault. Let's break this down. Mikel Arteta was the head coach up until, I think it was like the 10th of September, if I'm right. So up until the 10th of September, he was just the head coach and not the manager. So prior to all of the signings that were done up until that point was not Mikel Arteta. It was down to Edu, down to the recruitment. So I'm going to break this down very quickly. You must be thinking, yeah, dude, you're lying. No, it's not true. Arteta had his fingers in all the pies. No, he did not. He was just a head coach. He was given players to coach, not to manage, to coach. Mikel Arteta then, as a coach, would turn around and say to Edu and the likes of the others, these guys are not fit for purpose, they're not good enough to play for Arsenal, I need them to be gone. So as a head coach, you can make recommendations. It's down to the people above to make those recommendations come true. That is it. Mikel Arteta didn't scout Tierney, he didn't scout Gabriel, he didn't scout Cedric, he didn't scout Murray, he didn't scout any of the players that came in before he became Arsenal manager. That part is fact. That is fact. That was down to Edu and some of the recruitment staff that were there before they got let go for the pandemic. Look it up. People, look it up. The narrative is not changing. Mikel Arteta may not be the best coach at this moment in time, but he is the right person at the wrong time for this club. He really is. Now, has he shown favoritism to some players? Yes. I think there's a deeper issue and a bigger issue in this. Okay, it's the elephant in the room, it's Willian. He is a poor performer for Arsenal Football Club. He's not turning it on, and there could be reasons for it. I think there's players in the dressing room thinking, why is this guy starting over the next man? And there's a bit of rumblings going on about it, but Mikel Arteta is picking him. Could it be down to a contract clause that says he has to play a certain amount of games in order for him to sign? Because I think that was a problem at Chelsea. I don't think it was anything to do with the length of the contract. I think it was to do with the playing time in the contract. And not a lot of people know this, there's a lot of clauses in certain contracts for athletes that they have to play a certain amount of games, certain amount of minutes. If they come on a certain time, they'll get paid X, Y, and Z. So sometimes this is quite political in why Willian actually starts a lot of the games over other players who are performing. Think of how many games Willian has not started. Most of them are not in the Europa League, so it's not a big deal. But for the Premier League, where he's going to get most of his money, his bonus money. Edu could be an influence on this as well, saying, listen, we've signed this guy, and it's in his contract, he's got to pay. He could be contracted to play 65% of the Premier League games. He could be. Now, I'm for one for saying, it's not 100% sure saying it's an actual fact that he's got this contract, but why else would you continue playing someone who is clearly out of form, clearly who doesn't care when he takes the pitch? Do you think Arteta's hand is forced into this one, like he's forced into the Ozil situation? I think he actually wants to play Ozil. I think he actually wants to play Mesut Ozil. But, again, politics at the club have dictated to Arteta, do not play this man. Because while people are screaming that he gets $350 a week, actually that $350 is made up of bonuses. That's right, bonuses. So they gave a contract to Aubameyang because they think, well, he's a long-term successor. He's going to score a few more goals for the next couple of seasons. It's worth it. Where Ozil will still get a majority of his money just through a bonus's appearance. Forget about assists and goals and all that other crap. Just for appearance, it could be up to about 90, 100 grand per appearance. So while Arsenal then will look at it and say, well, do you know what? We could save that money by not playing him because the output is not as great. Now, if Ozil was doing all his assists as he was doing before, then maybe he would be playing. If Ozil wasn't dictating when he wanted to play, maybe he would be playing. So you have to look at the bigger picture, Arsenal fans, the really big picture. Arteta has messed up in a lot of games. He has messed up with, I guess, the tactics, the formations. There's a lot of things he's messed up with. But equally, if you're a professional footballer, you cross that white line. It is down to you to perform. Now, if you don't want to perform, you don't want to turn up, just tell the boss, like, boss, truth be told, I don't really want to play. I don't want to play for you no more. But they know, those weak-minded players, the money that they're on, no other idiot club, owner, manager will pay them that money. So they're saying, well, stuff it. You know what, I've got a contract, I'll take the field. It doesn't matter if we win, lose or draw. I'm still going to get paid. I'm still going to leave at the end of this season. I'm still going to pick up a sign-on fee for being a free transfer. And I'm going to get maybe, you know what, 30% less wages per week. But my sign-on fee is the money they would have paid to Arsenal anyway, so I get that. So it all works out in a magical way. Not mysterious way, a magical way. This is the detriment of what Arsenal have put themselves in. Not the boss. He's the right man at the wrong time. That's what it is. But Arteta has to take some of the blame for his tactics, for his selection. But I do believe the one hindering selection is over Willian. You can see over Bellerin, he's happy. Once he got his red card, he didn't play when he could have come back for the Everton game. He could have come back and played, but he didn't. So that goes to show there's something deeper going on. The David Luiz situation. They may not be talking, but you know what? He realises he's a good player. I need him to play. The decision that shows there's something going on when they gave Rob Holding the captain for the last game in Everton and not David Luiz. So clearly there's an obvious problem at the club between the manager and the player, or players. Now, this saga is not over. I've got so many more shows to do, but this is just the depths of what we're going to go into. All these things I brought up are going to be covered in the show in more detail. So think about this, guys. Before we start jumping on again, and on the 26th, when they play Chelsea at home, don't be surprised if Arsenal win this one 2-1. Do not be surprised. There's a lot at stake. There's a lot that's going on. And remember, the world of football is watching. So some of these players, if they've got a good agent, those agents should be in their ear saying, listen, you need to buck up now because your next contract is pretty much going to be your last contract or one of your last contracts. You need to play, you need to perform, you need to win. Because when we become a free agent, I can't shop you around to get you another club if you're playing like dog shite. So I said shite, so it's much better, isn't it? But if I'm an agent and I've got a client and he's playing bad, I'm saying, listen, your situation might be bad, but we could have went. No, we could have gone this season. You decided not to go, or I decided not to make you go. But now your stock is lowering. Your stock is getting worse. So when we try to negotiate that contract before, I can't negotiate that contract for you because you're playing so bad. But this is just part one. This is just a little intro of, you know, the Arsenal topic of 5 episodes we're doing on this. This is just part one. So everything I've just gone through, we're going to wrap up in the next 4 shows in detail, section by section by section, until the January transfer window. Boy, I hope you guys are ready, because I am. Okay, we'll see you soon. I'm Ty Knight for TK24 Sports, the Arsenal edition.